We're taking a closer look at the Marmot Hammer 2P tent, which is a 4-season high-end mountaineering tent. Obviously, the weather, the season, the conditions that we're in right now do not warrant the use of this particular tent, but we're gonna take a close look at the features and the details which make this 2-person mountaineering tent really livable, really easy to use, and a tent that's gonna give you confidence in the backcountry in your 4-season adventures. Getting into the specifications, this is considered a single wall tent, so you do have that waterproof protection all the way around. And you have a removable rain fly right here in the front. So this gray area with this vestibule that comes out here, you can choose to use it or not. It is a single wall waterproof tent, with or without it. Getting into the fabrics, the sidewalls, the gray sidewalls, the bathtub style floor, and the vestibule are a 40D waterproof ripstop nylon. And the canopy of the tent, the orange part, is a 50D waterproof nylon. So you do have pretty durable fabrics there, but this tent is also very lightweight. You have aluminum DAC poles, keep the weight down, and just some other great features about the tent. It is a freestanding tent, so you don't need to stake it into the ground in order for it to set up. But as I set up this tent, I found that it's a lot more helpful, if you loosely stake it into the ground first, set up the poles, and we'll get into that, and then go around and kind of adjust the points of adjustability there in all the stakeout points, and then stake out the vestibule last. Some more specific details about the removable rainfly and vestibule. It does just cover half of the tent. So again, with that single wall construction, you have waterproof protection all over the tent, but you have an added level of protection here with a removable rainfly and vestibule. The vestibule is 6 square feet, so you have room in there to store your gear or to cook if you need to do that. And you have one entry point into this tent, one door right in the front. It has a storm flap in front of that zipper with a nice snap at the bottom for security. And all along the zipper, you do have reflective piping, so it's an added safety feature there. If I open that up, you can see this is Marmot's snow flap for the bottom of the vestibule. And I can roll this back to show just the front door of the tent. Enough space to store your gear. And one thing I want to mention is with this Hammer 2 tent, there's a lot of overlapping of fabrics. So obviously the overlapping of the rainfly in the vestibule over the tent itself, overlapping of the storm flap and the zipper. There's even overlapping in the front door of the tent. So you've got bomb-proof protection, protection from the elements, something you would obviously expect in a mountaineering tent. If you open up the door here, I can see this as being a good area to cook. You can sit in the door and reach out and cook right outside of your tent there if you need to stay warm inside. But we'll remove this rainfly, show you some additional features inside the tent. We've taken the vestibule rainfly off of the tent to talk about some of the other features. And the pole structure here is pretty interesting. You've got 3 poles. They're DAC Featherlight NSL poles, and they're super lightweight for the size. So it definitely keeps the weight of this shelter down. And the poles are actually set up on the inside of the tent. Again, with the single wall design, the poles, there's 2 cross poles there, and then you have 1 additional pole for that rainfly. Now, this is set up right here on the front of the tent, and you've got 2 grommet holes there, and basically there's a sleeve on the inside of the vestibule that you thread this pole through that sleeve and you're able to, pitch the vestibule that way. If you're not using that part of the tent, you can leave that and the poles at home just to cut down on the weight. So it's not an essential piece, but definitely it gives you a lot of variety with how to use the tent. The other two poles here, like I mentioned, they're cross poles, and there are printed instructions on how to pitch the tent that are actually included on the inside of the stuff sack of the tent. But what Marmot suggests is staking out the four corners of the tent loosely first. The tent's flat on the ground, and you enter in through the front door. There is a sleeve on both of the corners in the back where you insert the poles there, and then little clips in the front where you actually pitch the tent from the inside. So this has, a lot of benefits. If you're in a storm, if it's raining, if it's snowy, you can actually pitch the tent and you're dry on the inside. So all you have to do is kind of throw your gear in there, get in the tent, pitch it from the inside, and then you are protected from the elements that way. The other thing I wanted to mention, there's two guy-out points on the side with that yellow cord. On the inside of the tent, you're able to adjust those guy lines and make them tighter or looser. So once the tent is pitched, I would just go around and if the stakeout points aren't tight enough, you can go around it and tighten those up and make adjustments as needed. Again, one entry point into the tent, so we're gonna go inside and look at the features inside. Entry into the tent through this front door here. And again, just all those overlapping areas where you have a nice storm flap in front of this zipper as well. Flap there and a flap there. There's also, if you do not have the vestibule pitched, there's also some protection here. I can see you being able to open that up as a little vent. Maybe not that far, but open that up as a vent so you have a little bit more ventilation there. But if you are experiencing some weather, it's gonna protect it from this flap right there. Opening the tent from the bottom. You've got a nice open D-shaped door, easy in, easy out. And I will mention here on the side, you have a vent flap here that you can adjust from the inside. You have a vent flap in the back towards the top of the tent that you can also adjust from the inside. So that's going to really cut down on condensation where you have this single wall design. Condensation could build up with that waterproof material, but Marmot has really, put some features into this tent that cuts down on that condensation. We've got the big D-shaped door rolled back here just to show, how big the door is, easy in, easy out. This interior space is pretty big in here. You have an interior height of 43 inches, and it's 50 inches wide by 83 inches long. So definitely enough room for two backpackers to have a 20 to 25 inch wide sleeping mat here, storing your gear outside of the tent. You have some internal storage and pockets. You've got one big pocket on this side, another one on that side. And with the poles being on the inside of the tent, there's certainly areas where you can attach a light or anything like that, which would be really easy to just attach to the inside of the tent there. With everything included, the stakes, the poles, the vestibule, this tent weighs in around 4 pounds, 14 ounces. So definitely a backpackable option for one or two backpackers. And it's lightweight enough for a 4-season tent that I could see it being a nice solo shelter as well. All in all, with the watertight construction, versatility with the different uses with the rainfly, and just your bomb-proof fabrics, easy setup as well. This is definitely your go-to shelter when you're looking for a lightweight mountaineering tent for two backpackers. It is the Hammer 2 by Marmot.